All right. I think we're about to get started, so good morning, everyone. All right, I know it's early and we're on our first cup of coffee, but I think we can do better than that. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Well, thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us on behalf of the NYU Stern Center for Sustainable Business. Welcome to the Private Equity Sustainability Practicum. My name is Samir Goel. I'm one of the co-founders of a company called Esusu that I'll share a little bit about shortly, as well as a proud Stern alum and a member of the CSB Advisory Committee. And I have the distinct privilege of serving as the Masters of Ceremonies for today's program, which is very easy because we have an action-packed agenda that I will be guiding you all through. I want to start by thanking our sponsors, Invest Industrial, Omidyar Network, ADL, Glenmead, and our media partner Impact Alpha for their generous support and partnership in helping bring this event to life. I'd also like to recognize our co-host, Ceres, Impact Frontiers, Pre-Distribution Initiative, PRI, and Nevada, whose input and support was invaluable in the research that will be unveiled today. Sorry I couldn't memorize all of those, but it is a mouthful. And they will be, a lot of the research featured here today has their footprints all over it. Today's session, we're going to dive into a number of facets of value creation through responsible investing. This is a very timely topic because ESG, as we know it today, has become very politicized, often unfairly. And so today we're going to talk about strategies to invest sustainably, but also do it in a way that is profitable. Because in my own opinion, this is sort of a false dichotomy. We can truly be sustainable investors and at the same time orient ourselves around shareholder returns, and those things do not have to be mutually exclusive, and that's really what we're all here to talk about today. Now, just to introduce myself a little further, like I mentioned, I'm one of the co-founders of Esusu. I won't bore you with my overall professional bio, but I will share a little bit about the company, our founding story, and how it ties into sustainable investing. For myself and my co-founder, Wamimo, Esusu really stemmed from our personal experiences. I grew up in an immigrant family from New Delhi, India, and when we moved to the United States of America, we thought we had made it. India's got well over 1 billion people. It's tough to make a living out there, and America obviously offers a lot more opportunity. But unfortunately, we were met with a rather rude awakening when we moved to the United States, when my father was mugged on his first day in the country, and we just didn't have a place for shelter. And those experiences really set the tone for a lot of the experiences I had in my early childhood, just watching my parents work miracles without a credit score and with limited financial opportunity, but still doing everything they possibly could to pave that proverbial American dream for us. And so the thought I was left with was it shouldn't be so hard for people working their best every single day to have that fighting chance. And so inspired by that and my co-founder Wamimo's experiences, we founded Esusu on this core premise that no matter where you come from, the color of your skin, or your financial identity, it should never determine where you end up in life. And at the same time, we're capitalists. We like to call ourselves justice capitalists. So how do we build a company that can impact society in the right way, but at the same time be market-driven? More practically, what we do is we partner with owners and operators of real estate, a lot of some of the firms that are actually represented in this room, and we make sure that when people pay their rent on time, that data gets reported into the credit bureaus so that renters can build and establish credit the same way that homeowners can today. When renters fall behind on rent, we pair them with 0% interest loans that are paid directly to the landlord, once again creating this win-win continuum where owners and operators are able to keep cash flow healthy, but ultimately we can keep families in their homes. And then finally, we help our partners do their ESG reporting, really focused on helping turn the social piece of ESG into more of a science rather than an art, with metrics like how many people are establishing their credit score for the first time, average credit improvement, and really painting that story of economic mobility in this country. That's a little bit about what we do, but I think, a couple things that are worth... Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So that's a little bit about what we do, and a couple things that I want to point out is since we started, we've had the good fortune of growing with partners, such as Amanda in the audience here with Kane Anderson, to now cover close to 5 million rental units across all 50 states in America, and we've gone on to raise $137 million of capital, most recently valuing the company at over $1 billion. And I point this out to say that we've actually raised money from a diverse set of capital sources, some of whom identify as impact investors, but many who don't. Many who are pure for-profit investors, but they see the opportunity to invest in a business like Esusu that makes life better for everyday Americans and still make a financial return. And that's really what we're all here to talk about today. There is no false dichotomy between sustainable investing and profitable investing. And so you're going to hear from a number of other speakers and panels and subject matter experts today on how we can do that successfully. And so that's what we're going to walk through for the rest of today's session. Now, I'm going to have to transition rather abruptly into housekeeping. So there's a few things that we need to kind of alert you all to. Firstly, we have our virtual program with a full agenda and speaker bios, which you can access by looking at this QR code right here. I hope that it'll be up other parts of the presentation in case you miss it as well, but I'll give you all a couple seconds to scan. This also has the details for Wi-Fi. As you can see, it's under NYU Guest with this very lengthy username and password. So please do take a photo of that. We're also going to have a few breaks for coffee and for lunch, which will be in the room right around the corner. Because we have so much time for networking and discussion already baked in, we're going to ask each and every one of you to come back on time so that we can keep this agenda moving. We're already probably about 5 minutes behind, and so we want to keep it at that and not accrue debt throughout the day as far as our time goes. And we also want to be respectful to our speakers who are giving up time out of their busy schedules to be here with each and every one of you today. I do want to note that today's events will be public and are on the record. So use your best journalism tips. Don't say anything that's confidential. And sessions will be recorded to be put on CSB's website. Media is in attendance, and we will be sharing some of the highlights from our session today. All of our sessions, or at least the majority of them, will have an opportunity for audience Q&A. So we ask that each of you hold off on questions until the very end, and your moderators will guide you by indicating that it's time for audience questions. I'm sure if there are questions left unanswered, you can follow up with the CSB team, and they can help address them after the event. For our speakers, we do ask that you check in at the registration desk in the hallway. 1 minute away, you can't miss it, 30 minutes in advance of your event, so that way you can meet up with Allison and we can keep this event running on time. A friendly reminder that NYU is a mask-friendly environment, and we encourage everyone to do what they feel most comfortable with. There are masks available at the front desk for anyone who would like to use one. I don't see a single person wearing a mask, but in the event that you feel social pressure not to wear a mask, please know that we do accept anyone wearing a mask at this event. And at this time, I'll ask you all to please silence your cell phones. Put it on Do Not Disturb if you can. Anyone who needs to take a call, there are some rooms across the hallway that are available for you to jump on a work call as needed. And we hope that you'll be able to participate in as much of the programming as possible. And finally, if you need any support today, please feel free to reach out to a member of the CSB team who are all wearing silver name tags and are here to make sure this experience is as enjoyable as possible.